Hi, my name is Sean Olson. In this video I'm going to show you how to use some Wallworm tools to quickly create collision halls in a complex model with some of the latest features in Wallworm. So in this case we have a section of a little tunnel with some stalactites and organic shapes here, and our goal is to create a collision hall for this model, for the source engine. So the first thing we will do is open up Hall Helper. It's under the Wallworm Model Tools menu, Hall Helper. When we open this up, there's a bunch of buttons and functions that we can run here, and today we're going to focus on these 4 buttons right here, and we're going to also customize your menu so you can actually bind these to keyboard shortcuts. We're going to start and pretty much focus on, in this video, a function called Wrap Selected Faces. First we're going to select our object here, and I'm going to hit F4 to turn on Edge Faces. I'm then going to go to the Polygon Subobject mode. And now what we really want to do here is just select faces that represent a single convex hull piece. To help this, I'm going to turn on lasso selection, and I'm going to select some faces here. In this case I just have this section here. If I click this button, Wrap Selected Faces, it's going to create a hull for those selected faces. So I'm going to do the same thing here with this one and Wrap Selected Faces. In fact, this button can be bound to a keyboard shortcut. In fact, I have it set to Control-Shift-F. So in this case, if I go up here and select all of these and I hit Control-Shift-F on my keyboard, it's going to run that function on the currently selected objects, or currently selected faces. Control-Shift-F. And if you want to do that keyboard shortcut yourself, you'll just need to bind them under the Customize User Interface. Go to the keyboard menu, choose wallworm.com from the categories list, and then find Create Halls of Selected Faces. So you can see you can assign it to anything that you want. In fact, all of these buttons, the different Create Hall functions, you can bind to keyboard shortcuts. Remember, you can hit Alt to deselect faces. Control-Shift-F, and there's our hull for that piece. And we can keep on just going through and selecting pieces that we want to do and creating hulls for them. So this is a fast way to do it without having to break up your model. Previous versions of the Hall Helper forced you to detach the elements. In this case, we can actually work on the original hull and not have to detach elements and break up our smoothing and normals. Another function that can help you with this, in this case I don't want to select faces that are behind my object, so if you aren't familiar with this may be helpful for you. Viewport clipping. I'm going to turn this on, and in this case the far plane, we're going to bring that in, and now faces that are behind that point there are no longer selectable. And I'm going to select all of these faces here. I'm going to deselect the ones above, make sure Alt select those because we don't want to make a hull from those pieces, and Control-Shift-F. And basically you just keep on doing this until you get all the pieces that you need. And in this case we'll go over here. See now, if I hide my cave system here, I've now made, of course I still need to do the bottoms and top, but you see how quickly you can create the collision halls by using this Wrap Selected Faces. I'm not going to continue creating all the holes to fill up the bottom here, but I'm going to show you the next set of functions here. In this case, once we're done making all the holes, we can then combine them into a single object with this Merge Selected Hulls button. We click that, and now they're all part of the same hull. The next function here is the Process Selected Hulls. If we click this, it will then make them ready for concave hulls in the source engine, because each element they must all share the same smoothing group. So as you can see, you can go through and continue making your hulls for all the different pieces. In this case, I'd have to do a little bit of custom work to some of the wall geometry in order to get this all to fill out here. But in this case, the whole point of this is to show you some of the convenient functions. Now we're going to go over a couple of the others. We're going to just create a new scene here and go over some of the other hull functions here. We'll use a couple teapots in the scene. One of the functions is wrap around objects. If we click this, it will make one hull around all of the selected objects. If we had a box over here also, selected all of these, and wrap around selected, it creates a hull around all of them. And if you need one solid hull around one object, you just select the one object and wrap the hull. Another one is hull each selected element. So I'm going to convert this to an editable poly, and I'm going to select just this face here and just this face on this. So I'm selecting one face on two different elements of this teapot. If I hit wrap each selected element, it's going to create one hull around each element that has at least one face selection. And now wrap selected elements. If we do this one, it will take both elements and make one hull from them, both elements that have a face selection. So if we hit wrap selected elements, it's going to make one hull around both elements of the selection. And again, we already did the face selection, so in this case, if I select these faces here, it's going to create a hull around just those faces that are selected. Just like making keyboard shortcuts, you can create quad menus. In this case, if I right click my object, you can see I have wrap one hull on selection, create hull of each element. Basically all of these functions that are buttons over here can also be bound to your quad menus, which you can change again in your customize menu in Max. Again, my name is Sean Olson, and this is a demonstration of using Wallworm to make your life easier for the Source Engine. You can learn more about me at my website, seanolson.net, and you can always get the latest versions of Wallworm at wallworm.com. Thank you and have a good day.